overwhelmed, it's too much. Well, this is surrender now to what is now, surrender to this enormous energy stream that's coming through. You asked for it, you said acceleration. And there it is. And continuously, even in this, my life, many people believe my life situation must be wonderful. In many ways it is. But no life situation is totally satisfying, and there are always things that happen and change. There's no ultimate certainty in any life situation. You cannot derive long-lasting satisfaction from any life situation, even if you become famous. I can tell you that now. The life situation has not the power to satisfy you for long. The satisfaction needs to be found in life, and life is now. And if you find that, then your life situation is fine. It unfolds and becomes empowered, probably. So, don't expect. Your life situation does not have the power to make you fulfilled, and it does ultimately not have the power to make you feel unfulfilled. You have to go deeper where you are bigger than that. Although there was this divine discontent for a little moment, I'm certainly not happier or more fulfilled now than I was when I, as one magazine said, Eckhart Tolle suddenly emerged from complete obscurity. So when I lived in complete obscurity, I didn't know I was in complete obscurity, but I was not less happy than I am now. The state is the same. So there's no sense. It is fulfilling to see that consciousness is evolving through this form, yes, but there's no increased happiness through that. The happiness was already there, basically, the sense of, because I was deeply rooted, as I still am, in life. Life is always more vital to me than the life situation. I'm always going, even now, I'm always a little bit out of balance, even now, although great things are happening, but I'm not recommending that to anybody. I'm just saying I'm a little bit out of balance because I'm always more vitally drawn to the present moment and the aliveness of that than whatever I have to deal with on an external level. So I'm always doing a little bit too much, so sometimes it's a little bit chaotic around me because I don't deal with everything. If I dealt with everything, I would become stressed. There's just too much. So many things just put aside, and then after a few months, they're not a problem anymore because the situation has changed. And I don't do anything when I feel I'm not enjoying it anymore. Stop. What's the point? What is the point in doing something that you cannot enjoy? But don't prematurely say, okay, I definitely can't enjoy this. See if you can connect with the power of now and then do whatever you do. So don't immediately say, well, what I'm doing definitely I could never enjoy. Maybe, maybe not. Just try connecting, stepping out of the situation into the power of now and then do. Perhaps you can enjoy it. And if you still can't, then go and do something else. But no compromise. Don't live with unhappiness or with continuous stress or frustration. That is a dreadful way to live. And the large part of the world lives like that. So, what a wonderful challenge here. And whatever comes, where it's the life situation and the challenges of your life situation that draw out that which is deeper. So without the challenges, you would be comfortably sitting in your armchair for the next 30 years or until you retire and watching your investments grow and grow and then drop dead. And you would live with complete certainty that you're being looked after because you've got your life insurance and your investments are growing every year and there's nothing can possibly go wrong and there's nothing, okay, everything is great. Watch TV every day for 5 hours. And that's it. No evolution, no flowering of consciousness. And then there's somebody else who made a total mess of his or her life and ends up in prison and sits there for 20 years and suddenly wakes up in the midst of that and realizes, I am life. And the situation is just relatively unimportant. To feel that who I am in my essence is beyond any limitation on the external level. So that's why I often get letters from people in prison that say, I have woken up in prison. I'm free. I'm no longer unhappy. And I have another 20 years to do. No, I'm not unhappy anymore. I rarely get letters from people who say, I've woken up because my investments are growing every year. In fact, I've never had a letter. Sometimes I get letters from people who wake up because they encounter some physical illness, and often change happens then. Any challenge is the opportunity to wake up. If you're not being challenged by life, then wait, it'll come. Now, isn't that wonderful? That means that whatever happens now is no longer some problem that comes into your life. It's a challenge. It's not a dreadful thing. It's great. It's an opportunity to be more conscious, more present with what is. So that brings us back to the first 2 lines of that book. Life is difficult. Of course, it's full of challenges. But once you know that, and say, that's what it is, that's life is, then it's no longer difficult. It just is what is. It only remains difficult if you have the idea stuck in your head that it shouldn't be. It's a paradox. Life is difficult, and once you know that it's difficult, it's no longer difficult. Knowing that it's difficult implies accepting that it's difficult. But to say it is difficult only when you resist life. So what this implies is it's when the resistance goes, then it's no longer called difficult. It's challenging. And every challenge brings increased aliveness. My friend Steve, who is here, can testify to that because he was faced with a challenge recently of being stuck in a hotel room in Bombay with mad terrorists running all around the building for several days. And he went deep inside. Wasn't difficult for him because he was already immersed in presence for many years. So he was able to step out of the situation, which certainly could be called difficult, and go deep within into the power of the present moment, into consciousness itself.